Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Welcome back. We'll just get into it.
With much consideration, much prayer and advice from other people about our current stage of life and everything,
The business and content and all the stuff that we're doing.
future goals and dreams, we have decided to start the podcast.
Yes. So far so good as ending. It is true. Really, as far as like content on this channel, we're just entering a season of life where we want to feel excited about the content that we post and I guess like not be beholden to the upload schedule, and we want it to just feel fun. And
He means like a weekly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just we want to upload when we feel like we have something to share, and we don't know what that's going to look like, which I know maybe isn't fair to you guys if you're like wanting to see us make videos all the time, which is why you would have subscribed to this channel. But
we aren't going anywhere. Like, we're still going to be on the internet. I'm still going to be on my channel. You know, like,
yeah, we'll still be on Instagram. We'll still be doing that stuff. For the Jess and Gabriel stuff, we've just been doing it for a very long time. I specifically I've been a content creator for like over a decade now, and I just feel like I need a season where I'm not doing that. Focus on family and feel inspired again, because it's very hard for me to find inspiration in what I'm doing now. And with being a creative person and our job being creative, it's very taxing when I'm not feeling like fulfilled and feel like I'm using my creativity.
With that, I was just going to say, like, kind of what Gabe is saying, with a weekly podcast or weekly uploads, there's not like a lot of spare time to try new things or like try a new project and stuff. I think that's sort of what you were getting at.
So it's both, where like I feel like I need some time. I might take a sabbatical even just to like take some time and really reflect, because I've gone through this cycle of we started making content. Well, I guess we'll just start from the beginning. Like, we started making content I started making content on Vine, but then years later, Jess and I met, and then we started vlogging. And then since that,
That was 2016.
In 2016, yeah,
Long time ago.
Yeah, ancient. We're ancient. We shared our love story. We did long distance. We got engaged, got married, and then showed like the processes of us moving in together, just moving from Australia and all that stuff that happened back then, which was all super fun and exciting and really fun to document as well, because it felt like it was a story that we were sharing.
It really was like one big story, like start to finish. Not story like it was fabricated, but just like it was really fun to document.
Yeah. It was our story that we were sharing with the world.
Yeah.
And now 2017 happened. It was like the first year of us, being married. So that was super fun to film as well, obviously. And it was cool being able to like do some projects together. We started doing some music and all that stuff. Went on tour. Just like everything was like really fun and exciting, and as far as like filming the content. And 2018 rolled around, and we were continuing to kind of like do more stuff, try and generate more business, and grow the careers and everything like that, or our careers. And that's when I first started experiencing burnout and depression.
Well, it is interesting too, because for a long time for us, it was just content, and then you get to a certain point where people, I guess, like in the industry, are telling you to do different things to diversify, I guess. And
yeah, just expand. It's like
create businesses,
music, start a brand. I was doing acting and start a podcast and all the different things that you want to do to like expand the business, other than just like,
I guess, relying on one platform.
Yeah. What's funny is, even rewinding before 2018, 2017, it was like a few months after we got married, and it was all public. I didn't want to do Jess and Gabriel anymore, which was like the first time where I was like, I feel like I have something else to do. I didn't know what it was, and I don't think I verbalized it that well back then. But that's when I started getting really passionate about the filmmaking side of stuff. I'd always been into filmmaking, especially on the acting side, but then I started just really becoming passionate about cinematography and filmmaking, and started vlogging on my own channel.
Yeah, you were making those really cool, more filmmaking vlogs. And we took a break on Jess and Gabriel maybe for a month.
Yeah, a month or
so.
so. Yeah, and then I guess like out of, the guilt of just like dropping that channel for a month, I was like, we should probably go back there. So many people who have followed us for us posting on that channel, and
We don't want to let anyone down.
yeah, so then that kind of started the whole like journey of me like sticking it out. That's led until now. And back then it was easier because there was still a lot of like, not that stuff isn't exciting and fun now, it's just like different. Anyway, we'll get into it. 2018 hits. I started experiencing burnout and depression, like I mentioned, and those were just like cycles and waves of that all the way through to like 2021, and we find out Jess is pregnant. And a lot of the stuff that I had done, I had so many at that point. I had the first podcast that I did, I was doing music. I had New Earth, the clothing company. Mm-hmm. I think at that point I may have just stopped doing Grace Coffee. What else was I freaking doing?
You were writing your book.
Writing my book, yeah. So like there was a lot of stuff on my plate all at once, and I was like, if I want to be a good dad, I need to not be so tied up with all this stuff that I'm doing and all the stuff I'm putting on my plate work-wise. So 2022, over the course of wow, I almost said last year. That's crazy. It's 2024 now.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude. Over the course of 2022, I, was either finishing projects or like shelving stuff or like just wrapping things up entirely. That led to Micaiah being born, and we're now a year and a half into that. And well, now that we had a family, not that we weren't a family before, but you know what I'm saying. We didn't want to like go into like the family vlogging stuff. We didn't want to, like force Micaiah into making videos with us all the time and that be the thing that we do. So we were like...
And we were a lifestyle couple channel, so really that was kind of like the natural direction that it would go.
Yeah.
For a channel like this. Yeah,
so we were like, all right, let's just try and still make couple content outside of like not really fully focus on the family stuff. Obviously there would be family stuff involved, but it wasn't like we were filming Micaiah all the time and that was our content. And then as I was feeling, we were both kind of feeling like we were tired of monetizing our relationship. Jess always wanted to do a podcast. Is this a good time to get into this part?
For years, even before Gabe did one with his friends, I didn't have an idea, so I never started one. I never started one with Gabe, but I always wanted to do a podcast. Gabe was very patient. I kept bringing it up, and then I brought it up more once we had Micaiah, because I was telling him, like, that's a great way to connect with our audience, especially, like, with our age. Like, a lot of people have grown up with us, and I feel like a lot of people our age do listen to podcasts, so it would be a great way to connect and, next step, while also not vlogging Micaiah.
Which it was, to be fair. Like, it was great. And it was like another project for me. It was like, okay, great, a new project that I can do, which kind of got me excited. We got to like brand the whole thing. I got to create the artwork for, there's just like a lot of fun things that at the start that I was able to like feel inspired by something new again. But the reason why I held off on saying yes to doing a podcast was because I like foresaw not wanting to do it. And a podcast isn't something that you just stop doing, or it's not necessarily like a project, but it's more so just like a new business that you just have to manage and keep up with.
It's like an indefinite thing, kind of.
Yeah, so we started it, and it, I was feeling inspired by it, I guess because of the novelty of, something new, for maybe a month, maybe two, I can't really remember. And then it just felt like I was back into like the emotional rut that I was feeling before, of just like, I don't know, not feeling inspired, especially as a creative person. Like I want to constantly push myself creatively, and the podcast is fun to do as far as like sitting down and recording conversations and being silly and goofy together. But it came at the cost of me like doing something that pushes me creatively, which sounds maybe kind of selfish, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm verbalizing myself that well, but it's just like what it was. And over time it just started itching away at me more. And then that on top of feeling that we just didn't want to keep monetizing our relationship, and it was getting old, and we don't know our relationship outside of like the public eye and making content around it and stuff like that. Like we've never had that in our relationship before.
I think we do a good job at keeping a lot of things private. Like I do still feel like we have our relationship, parts that no one sees. But yeah, basically since the start of our relationship, we have documented so much. And then even now, 7 years later, like, we're not vlogging as much as we used to, but we're still like showcasing, I guess, our relationship every single week.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is like at the beginning we would show a ton of stuff, like almost everything. We were vlogging all the time, like 3 days a week we were vlogging, and then Jess would post once a week on her channel, and I would post once a week on my channel, and we were doing like between the two of us doing 5 videos a week, which was pretty crazy. So we were showing so much, which is what you want to do, because people are interested in your life and you want to show that. But as we've continued down the road and I don't know, gotten older or whatever, continued on this journey, we've been wanting to show less and just keep things private. And it's like the balance of what's good for business versus how we feel we want to like safeguard our family and our privacy.
I think
so. It's like a weird relationship there.
The two of us love making content and love like this YouTube space. So it's not that we don't want to make content anymore, but it's that like I think we have more things that we want to share that's just not our relationship. And like different, being creative in different ways.
Anyway, I feel like that's long story short. This might have been foreseen given that we made an episode about a podcast episode about me feeling burning. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. A podcast episode about me feeling burnt out a month ago, not a few weeks ago.
Gabe was just telling me yesterday there was a comment on that podcast that he kind of resonated with.
There's a lot of comments on there that was like, you get burnt out really easily, blah, 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 but then one comment said, what did it say?
Sounds like you need a career change.
Yeah. And that's, I was already thinking like maybe I should try something new. Like I've been doing this for over a decade. Maybe it's like this is actually like my body or God telling me like there's something else I have for you.
And I think
don't know what that
we
is,
just need to give ourselves the space, like the literal time, to be able to find that
and explore
while also leaving margin, since we are parents and like we are obviously prioritizing being a family too. So we don't want to run ourselves into the ground like working 24/7 and not having family time.
Yeah, so I might take a sabbatical. I got to take some good time off during Christmas, but then it's also Christmas, which is hectic anyway. So I don't know what the next season looks like. We'll still be posting on this channel when we have something we want to share. We also still actually have a few like brand obligations and commitments that we
are going to like see through.
Yeah, we want to see that through since we committed to those.
So you will see us very soon.
Yeah.
But do you want to tell them what you're currently working on?
Yeah, sure. I kind of out of nowhere, not out of nowhere. I've had an idea for this for a while, but out of nowhere, I kind of just decided to start it in the middle of me starting to feel like really just getting a bit run down and not feeling inspired. I was like, I need to do something that I feel inspired by. And so I started working on a script for a short film. I'm working with a writer here in Nashville. So that's in development now. That's like really low pressure for me. I'm not trying to burn myself out with like a new project too, but it's very creatively fulfilling and inspiring. It's what I've wanted to do since I was a kid. Since I was, in middle school, I've wanted to be in movies and make movies. And maybe that's where I'm headed now. And that's like the new chapter of my journey and career. And I just feel like I should have done more with that before, since that's what I've been passionate about the whole time. Like literally there's friends that I talk to now and I'm like explaining everything that I'm going through. And they're like, yeah, I mean, you've said that, as long as I've known you that you've wanted to make movies, that is your like main goal. And then there's, I guess like friend, mentor guy who I was talking to, and I was telling him about like that was like my big picture goal. And he was like, well, do you have a plan to get there? And like, what are you doing now to make that happen? And I was like, I'm not doing anything really other than like keeping my career alive through the social media content. I'm not like actively doing anything to go into like filmmaking and telling those kinds of stories that are different from social media content and stuff. And over the years of social media, I've definitely grown like a skill set with learning cameras and how to edit and everything and crafting stories through our life. So I'm excited for that potentially being the thing. And in the meantime, I'm working on a short film that who knows when will come out, but I'm just taking the next season of life slow, giving myself some space to just like recover and explore and everything. So, yeah.
I just want to say that we are very grateful for this community and family
Yes.
that have like literally grown up with us and have been with us since pretty much since we met. We really don't want to let anyone down, and this was a really hard decision for us to make.
I feel like I'm coming off like I'm ungrateful for everything. This has been the craziest. If you would have told 15-year-old Gabriel that at 29 I'd be here where I'm at, I wouldn't have believed you. It's just like insane, the whole journey of it all.
And yet, again, we don't want to go anywhere. We're just like figuring out what is next, but we'll still be here.
And I'm so grateful for all you guys. Like, you know, we get stopped in public and you know, there's people who say like, there's people who say I've been watching you since Vine, like, you know, telling me that. And it's just like, it's just crazy that like you guys are still following along from that long ago.
Kind of like whatever new thing that we start, people have really supported us and come along.
And
So-
I do want to separate my like feelings toward the job of like making content. I want to separate that from how grateful I am for the community that has supported us the whole time. Which is why it's been so long. It's been a long time of me like battling with this, because I so appreciate and hold highly everyone who watches us. And I don't want to do anything to like upset you guys or offend you guys or whatever, let you guys down, which is why I keep trying to like figure out a way to keep making consistent Jess and Gabriel content. But I just feel like it's at a point where I need to just start stepping back a little bit, if that makes sense.
Kind of as we said earlier, I'm still going to be on my channel, on my socials. I think this will actually give me more time to do more on Instagram, which is really cool. Like, I don't really have a big focus on that. So we aren't going anywhere. Just know I post pretty much weekly on my channel. So you can head over there if you don't know that already.
Yeah, and I'll still be doing my Instagram stuff too. Honestly, I'm pretty excited to like free up some of Jess's time, because she has a lot of ideas and things she wants to do with her own brand, I guess you could say. And it'll be cool to see her be able to fully focus on that rather than have like this split focus between Jess and Gabe stuff, our podcast,
Yeah.
you know, your own stuff and your social media platforms. So
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think it'll give me a little bit of, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but just space to like explore all these random dreams in my brain that I like haven't been able to work on. We also have some information for our members. If you're a member, we have information down below just regarding like memberships and all of that, and like the, I guess, membership like platform moving forward.
and how we're gonna transition out of that since the podcast is stopping, but we want to do right by you guys, so we're
Yeah.
you know, putting things in place to make sure that you're all served well in this transition. So
We love you guys. We will still be here, and just, yeah, we're so grateful for the support, years and years of support, but we're excited to see what comes next.
yeah,
Don't show your toes.
peace out.
Oh my gosh.
Peace out.
All right. Love you guys, and yeah, we'll see you very soon.
Are we gonna say the old school? Do it.
Peace
Peace
out from Jess.
And Gabriel.
Conti. You.